Well, guys, I'm getting involved in another project on the old dually, and here, let me get you around here, and let's go look at it. Well, what I got, I got my whole dash torn apart. You see, I got the whole instrument cluster over there. Guys, I wanted to get to this radio right here. Let me turn this down before I get a copyright violation, even though you can't hardly hear it. That old radio that I pulled out, what did I do with that thing? I don't know. I think I put it down there on the floor. But that thing, I couldn't get a peep out of it. There was no display or anything. So I dug up this radio that the CD player doesn't work in, but the radio does. And I was able to hook it up, wire it all in. It goes through that Kenwood equalizer right here, which is still working. And I got one speaker working. But, you know, at least it's one speaker. But it's not working really good. It's there you go, on the one side. So what I'm contemplating, guys, I'd like to have my old school radio back in there, although they've cut up my dash pretty good here trying to fit these other radios in. So it's gonna be a challenge putting another radio in. But I got this thing here in the box. I got on a clearance deal, and you see how dusty it is. I got foam insulation on it and all, but you know, it's got the blue teeth on it, and it's got 4 speakers. So, and I didn't pay next to nothing for this, guys. I actually bought this for the 52, but you know what happened to the 52. Glad I didn't have it in there. So I'm thinking to kind of retrofit it and see if I can sneak it on in there somehow, some way, where I can have some radio while I'm driving this truck, because you know, it gets a little boring just driving it, you know, hearing the big old 454. So let's see what I can do here. And that's what I'll be working on today. Well, guys, I got my speaker apart over here. You know, it was a Pioneer speaker, so you would think that it would be good still, but I guess age changes everything, because it sounded like crap. But these little cheap ones, here, let me turn it up for you. Don't sound too bad.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Upload 130 family photos. Watch 46 hours of holiday films together. And share 25 holiday reels with old friends. There are countless memories to make this season. Light up your holidays with Frontier Fiber. Reliable 100%
So,
fiber optic.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the other side. You know, why not pull something else apart? So I'm going to pull that side apart and get it all disheveled like this one here is. And I'm going to see if that speaker over there will work, because that one wasn't working at all. And I hope the wires are okay. We'll see. Well, on the other side, trying to get this speaker grill off so I can take the rest of it apart. I don't really need the speaker grill off to get it up. Oh, well, there that goes. I'll never find that again. I don't really need this grill off to get it apart, but I do need it off to get the speaker out. Alright, let me do a little screw collection here so I can lose them all at the same time. You know what? That's a pretty good spot for them, right? Right there. Right there. Go back over to your home.
Go home to your mother!
Alright. Look at that. No wonder this one wasn't working. Is this? Is that the connection? Connection for the speaker? That was probably for the factory speaker. But why wouldn't they hook this one up? There's nothing else in there but a big old mud dauber. How did a mud dauber get in here? Oh, well, that's got to come out.
We've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Okay.
Plus,
Well, most of it's out.
So it's gentle on her skin.
Okay.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to
Well,
be
that's got to be the speaker wire. So
Just because Christmas is over doesn't mean the holiday vibes have to stop. Listen to I Heart Christmas now, commercial free on the brand new iHeart app. Plus, use the new
should I make a connector that goes in there, or should I just cut? I'll just cut the wires. The wires were cut over there. Now that I remember it, the wires were cut over there. So yeah, I'll just have to put some new ends on it. And you know, this speaker might even work. Who knows? Well, guys, over here on old Drinker's side, it doesn't have no juice, no bueno, no power. I've hooked it up to both speakers and nothing. So I'm gonna have to track this on down. And let me show you something I found out. You see these wires over here? They look kind of bluish. They're blue, dark blue and light blue. So if you go to this other side, I found when I first bought this truck. Oh, look what's playing here. Double Trouble Garage. I had some wires on this side just hanging down from, you know, God knows where they're coming from. They're way in there. You know, I got to let me get a light. I want to see where they're coming from. Well, I got a light. Let's see if we can see down in yonder way. Yeah. I see. Looks like they're coming from the bed. Why would they be coming from the bed? I never saw anything in the bed. Right in the middle, too. I don't know. Can you see that in there? Yeah, I don't know. Well, I went back on the inside. This is on the driver's side. And let me get you some light over here. And what I found, you see the plug-in. Plug-in for this speaker is right here. So the factory plug-in is not even used. And they're using this other wire. And then I found this other wire over here. Now, what are the chances that this is supposed to go all the way over to the other speaker? I'm thinking it is. So we're gonna throw that over there. and hook that up, and let's see what we can get working there. As an acquaintance of mine used to say, what's the worst that can happen? Well, you know, it reaches perfectly over to this side. So I'm thinking, guys, that it goes to this speaker over here on this side. And I'm going to try hooking the original speaker up, if I can do it with one hand. Let's see. There should be a skinny plug and a... Oh, this is the skinny plug here, which makes me believe that, yes, it did go here. All right, well, that's not on there very good, but it's on that side. We're just testing this out anyway. This speaker may not even work, but let's try it. Excited. Oh, there we go. So you got to turn the power on every time? I guess you do. I hear speakerage. I hear speakerage from both sides. Oh, yeah.
The South Korean currency, I mean, it is just tanking. It's at its lowest in more than 15 years, almost 16 years.
There.
And so that also means there's this economic volatility.
We're going to leave it on that because there's no cooperate.
And what comes next?
Oh, my goodness. No copyright. Got it.
So he will have to wait to see if...
Let me go make sure that speaker's working. It sounds like it's in stereo. I knocked the antenna wire off, but yeah, it's working. You know, it's too bad speaker doesn't work on the other side real good. The other one sounds like crap. This one sounds pretty good. At least it did, from what I remember when I was in the front seat. Well, look at that guy going to town, getting that dually looking right. If you ain't seen that video, you got to go see that video. That was a good one. All right, yep. I knocked the antenna right out. Let me get this hooked back up, guys.
Me too. Sounds unpleasant, right?
It does.
Well, imagine that you had to do this over and over again in order to eat. That's what this time of year is like for Arctic and red foxes. They hunt for rodents by plunging into the snow.
That speaker
head
sounds
first.
pretty good.
NPR's Nell Greenfield voice reports on
know
how
what?
they managed to do that without getting
Let me
hurt.
unhook this new speaker and hook the old one back up.
Cornell University.
See if it sounds
He's
any
been
better.
studying how some birds manage.
Well, guys, I got it all hooked up. I'm not sure where I left off now. You know, I was going back and forth, and I finally ended up putting both speakers in the back. Both of them cheap ones. Them two 4x6s or 4x8s or whatever them things were. The one was no good. Then the other one worked fantastic for a while. And then it just quit working on me too. So they're just old. These other ones are working real good. So don't want to get any copyright, pings on me. So what I'm thinking now, I was just going to slap this head unit in there and, call it a day for now. I got something working. But this CD player won't work. It's telling me there's no disc in it. Source. Band. Source. No magazine. No magazine. And I've taken this magazine out and put it back in ample times. And it's still saying no magazine. So, matter of fact, I need to, thinking about that, I need to take my CD out of there. What I think I'm going to do, guys, since I have this new head unit here, and the way they're making them now is just a, it's a facade. You don't need all this here anymore. They can compact everything into this one little piece, and that's the whole radio, believe it or not. The more you know. But the other dilemma that I have is a big one to me. And here's what it is. It's my... Let me back this up. Back it on up. Let's see. It's my dash here, guys. I really hate it whenever they cut out the dash and, just totally make it look terrible. I would rather spend the money and get one of the aftermarket, retro shop, retro heads or whatever you want, retro radios, and put it on there. But they have this thing so messed up already. Look at what they've done. They've cut it out lower for that amplifier thing down there to set in the bottom. And then they've elongated the holes where the radio went up further to make room for the amplifier thing. If I cut it, I guess I'm really not hurting nothing. Because if I put another radio in there, a retro radio, I'm still going to have them gaudy looking holes above it. And it's already messed up. It's already messed up. Pretty good looking dash. I mean, I can use this. If this stainless steel will come off, I can put it on another dash. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna have to think about it, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna cut this on out and go ahead and put this head unit right in here, and it looks like it'll fit pretty decent. And then I can put the equalizer back in the bottom and just leave it like that for now. Yeah, let me think. Well, guys, guess what I've decided?
Not easy.
I don't think it'll be hard to figure out.
Wow.
Well, guys, that's gonna wind up pretty good. You know, I hated cutting it, but I found out that I bought another dash when I went on a trip. You know, you go on a trip and you look around different places, go on Facebook Marketplace, maybe there's some new stuff around there, you know, some fresh merchandise. But I found another dash, a whole dash cluster, and I bought it, and it was relatively cheap. So I have another dash I could go ahead and put on here. And I also went and looked in my other truck, and it has an unmolested radio housing in it. And I don't know what the parts truck looks like that I have outside, but it may be factory original too. I don't know. So I didn't feel so bad about doing it. Plus, this is all I cut out, guys. This is it. I mean, these holes were already drilled in here. I just cut out a little bit of, I cut a picture frame. That's all I did. But look how good that's going to look in there. I mean, that's pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. Put the equalizer in down there. It'll cover all that mess up. And I think I'll be good to go.
We'll get in the truck and start it up and see how she runs now.
Wow. We're going to have to get a root driver out.
Well, guys, it's all wire connection time here. I know a lot of you guys don't like it. You don't like connecting wires up and all. I actually kind of do like it. So it's kind of fun, you know, connecting everything up and making something work that never worked before. But all that being said, I've got to make heads and tails of somebody else's wiring. So this unit is a little bit different because once I hook up the positive wire that's constantly hot, once I hook that up, and I hook up the amp wire, which is actually on this one, it's a blue wire and it puts power to the amplifier, and I hook up the ground, and I hook up the ignition wire, then that's it. That's 4 wires. I can just plug in the 2 speaker wires that go to the amp, and technically it'll all be hooked up. All I've got to do is put the radio in, install my dash back, and I should be golden. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to use a regular spade connector here on this amp wire because, you know, they've already got one hooked up. So who am I to buck the system? Well, guys, I'm going to have to order some parts here. It's not a lot. It's only an antenna extension. That antenna is just long enough to make it to the back of the radio, the original radio. And you remember how deep it was. So now that my new radio is only, you know, as thick as a sandwich, I'm going to have to extend the wire up because I can't pull it far enough and get my hand in there to plug it in. It's just no way, no how. So I'm going to order the antenna extension, and you know, when I come back, I might just address this dash here. I found out that I had a wire that was going over to my little gauge cluster over on the right hand side that I never can see while I'm driving, and it irritates me. Well, I hooked it up to the old headlight switch here, and to the dimmer switch actually, and now I'm able to dim the lights or brighten them up, and every time I turn the lights on, them lights are going to come on. So it's kind of got me going, and I'd like to get my dash lights a little bit better. I've only got maybe 2 dash lights that are working. It's kind of hard to see the speedometer, so I think I'm going to pull that apart, go ahead and dig into there, and get that a little bit better. We'll see how it goes, because it, you know, every time you dig into there, them little plastic arms and stuff, the pointers, they're very, very fragile. Sometimes all you have to do is breathe on them and they'll break. So we'll see how ambitious I am after I get my extender in. It's only going to be a second for you guys, but it's going to be, you know, probably a day for me. Well guys, I got my antenna extender in, and boy is it small, I'm telling you.
That's what she said.
I mean the cable, you know, the cable part of it. The length is going to be all right, but you know what they did with parts nowadays to make them cheaper, they just degrade on the materials. What they do, they downgrade, I think is the proper word. Well guys, you know I had to play with it a little bit and listen to, you know, some copyrighted music. It sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. It sounds better than I remember it, because, you know, this ain't the same day. It's been a couple days. I had to wait for the package to come in, and then, you know, had to do a couple other things for the holiday season, so I'm back on it again, and I'm really anxious to get this dash back on and get this thing all pulled back together. So I'm gonna do that right now. Well guys, does that look gooder or badder? But I think it looks probably badder, but I wasn't happy with it before, and well, I'm still not happy with it, but it is clean though. I will say it is clean. Well, let me let it drip dry here a little bit, and then we'll just slam it back on there. Well guys, let me give you a little tip here. You know, one night, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a story. One night I was walking down the Amazon Trail, and I was looking for these straps that go on the doors, you know, because this ride didn't come with one on this door. The other door, it has one. And if you know Chevys and, you know, crew cabs and all that, they only have them on the front doors. They don't have them on the back. And I'm fine with that, because, you know, when you're reaching for the door, you normally reach for the door handle anyway. You don't normally reach for the strap. I don't anyway. Well, I found these straps, and they look nice. They look real nice. Well, they were for a Jeep. That's where they identify themselves as a Jeep brand. And I got a measurement on mine, and I got a measurement on these, and these were like maybe 2 inches short. But you see that curve in them there? I thought maybe once I lengthen them on out, that I could at least make it work to where it would go on there and fill up the void. I don't care if it's stuck out far enough for me to even grab. I just wanted them on there and look nice, you know. And, well, guys, I think they're even shorter than what they said. I don't know if you can see that right there. No sense even seeing it. They're more than 2 inches shy, too short. So I'm going to be, you know, sending them back on down that trail that I was on, and, you know, let somebody else use them on their Grand Cherokee or what Laredo or whatever Jeeps go by. See, all nice and neat, like I never even touched them. So don't order the Jeep handles; they won't work. Well, voila! Got some new speakers for the back. You know, these speakers here, supposed to be 400 watt 3-way speakers by Hugo Boss, the same guy that makes the suits. No, it's not. But they're supposed to be some good quality speakers, and I got them for a pretty doggone good price. So let's put these in and see what they sound like. Well, I'm gonna see anyway, because you know, you guys can't listen to copyrighted music. Nope. Well guys, I went ahead and got that radio installed. I don't know where I lost you at, but you know what happens. Camera went dead. Got the radio all put in. It's looking really good. Really happy about it. See different angles of it here. Turn it on for a second. Look at that. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Don't even like that music. But I got it all keyed up. Yeah, should go off when the switch is off. The dash looks good. It's all cleaned up. I cleaned up my steering wheel. So got that looking good, feeling good. And then I went ahead and I installed my rear view mirror that is not so great, but it's installed. I got the thing glued up there where you know, it'll mount a mirror anyway, so I can always go get me another one. Well guys, I think we're gonna call it for this video. It's drug on long enough, and I want y'all to have a good, safe holiday season. Enjoy yourself, have a good time, no drinking and driving, and spend a lot of time with your family. Them are times you'll cherish forever, believe me. Spend time, laugh, have a good time together. Anyway guys, until next time, God bless and see ya.